This video is on revising strategies. A lot of people are confused about the difference between revision and editing, and they go right from their first draft to the editing stage. Editing refers to fixing up mistakes or making the style better, where revision looks at the content. We're going to be looking at three major parts: the development, the unity, and the coherence. And one good way to start this is to consider your audience. Looking at your draft now and considering your audience, what is it in the ideas you've given that your audience might be unfamiliar with? So what else do you need to tell them to make it clear? Also, is there anything in your argument that your audience might not accept right away? Let's say your audience could be skeptical about your argument. What might you want to add to that in order to make your argument more convincing? So consider things such as where you have interpreted something that you might need to bring in some evidence, either from the literary work or from a secondary source. You should make your body paragraphs have essentially three levels. The first level is the concept. That's your topic sentence. It's the main claim of this particular paragraph. The second level is your explanation. You might have to define a term or show your reasoning in some way. And the third level is your evidence. This is where you bring in examples from the literary work or examples from your own experience in order to show that your interpretation is a fair and reasonable one. If you have those three levels for your body paragraphs, you're likely to have good development. Next, we look at the unity, and we want the unity to work on two levels. One is the unity of the paper as a whole. So consider your thesis statement first. Look at your topic sentences and see if they all agree with the thesis statement. If they don't, you may need to revise the thesis statement, and that's very common. We start off with a thesis statement with an expectation of what we're going to prove, but as you work through your evidence, you may go in another direction. Perfectly reasonable. Just go back and revise that thesis. Or, do you feel that your thesis is good and perhaps one or two of your body paragraphs went off in another direction? Maybe you saw a side path, basically, that isn't needed. In that case, you need to take those out. In order to help show your reader your coherence then, the third thing we want to look at, you want to make sure that first you have a clear order of movement. Now, there are three main orders of movement that we use. One is spatial, so that you might be describing something from north to south or left to right. The second is chronological, so that you might be describing something from the past to the present. And the third and most common one is climactic. In English, we look at things going from least to most important. So you would start off with your less important points or claims and build up to your best so that the reader sees the paper getting stronger. Now you certainly can mix these. You could have one paragraph that is spatial, for example, but the overall essay is climactic. Just make sure that you know what order you are using and that there is a logical reason for why one paragraph follows the next. And lastly, with coherence, you'll probably need to go back and add transitions to show how you move from one idea to the next. Very few writers do this in their initial drafts. As we're writing, we know the connections between one sentence or one idea and the next, and so we don't think to include the transition sentences. These are things such as in addition, or on the other hand, or in contrast, or as proof of this. They tell the reader how one sentence connects to the other sentence. So go back and see, do you need to add these? When you've looked at all three of these things, then you have revised, and then you're ready to do the editing stage. Thank you.